Welcome back to Tasha's Garden. I'm the gardening realtor. If you're new here, I'm glad you're here, and if you're returning, welcome back. So I wanted to give you guys a very lengthy list so that you can have options. You don't have to plant all of these, but if you found some ideas in this list, let me know down in the comments. And all of these seeds have come from the Old Farmer's Almanac based on Zone 7B. However, if you are in a different zone, I will add the link down below where you can put your zip code in and see when you are able to plant these seeds. So to start it off, we're going to be talking about your peppers. Now, these are not the only peppers that I'm going to be growing. I have my sweet banana pepper right here, pepperoncini pepper, and bell pepper. And I will 100% be adding jalapeno onto that list. Whatever pepper you're wanting to grow this season, if you didn't start them in January, you 100% want to start them in February and no later. Unless you're going to start them directly outside, then March is okay. But if you're trying to get a head start, February is the last chance you get with peppers. If you've struggled with growing peppers, the one thing I will say is to start them as early as you can, and if you have any issues, you still have time. You don't want to wait to the last minute and then miss your window, so that's just a tip. Next is eggplant. So eggplant is in the nightshade family. It is related to the tomatoes. So you already know the next one on this list are tomatoes. I got this pack of a lot of different tomato seeds from Amazon about 3-4 years ago, and it has San Marzano in here, Ace 55, rainbow tomato. We have Roma, yellow pear, oxheart tomato, Marmandi. We have a lot of different types of tomatoes in here, and they have still been working wonderful. I haven't had any issues out of these tomatoes, so I will definitely be taking a couple of these tomatoes and growing them. So like I said, eggplant is in the same family as your tomatoes, so they take a bit of time to grow and establish. I feel like they take a little longer than tomatoes, in my opinion. In my experience, they have taken longer than my tomato plants to grow. Let me know in the comments if you had that same experience. But anyhow, your eggplant is another one on that list you want to start in February. And your tomatoes and eggplant both can take a bit of time to sprout. Sometimes it can take up to 7 days. Maybe even longer, depending on if you have a heat mat underneath it. Next up are tomatillos. I'm so excited about growing these. This is my first time. It also takes a bit of time to germinate. It takes 7 to 10 days to germinate, depending on if you have a heat mat. You definitely want to start these in February as well if you have not already started them in January. I also ordered some ground cherries, a pineapple variety, so I'm excited about growing those, and I will also be growing those in February. Next up is basil. So I have already started some basil in January, which is a bit earlier than I did last year. I did have them on my list to start in January, but I actually did not start them until the beginning of March. However, you don't have to start them now. You still have time. You can start them in March, but I am going to be starting some more in February if you want to have your basil out there whenever your tomatoes are ready to go out. Next up are your oregano and sage seeds. If you are wanting to start oregano and sage from seed, February is the perfect time to go ahead and start them if you did not already start them in January. They actually take a bit of time to establish, so you definitely want to start them early. Next up are chives. Now, in the last video in January, I did not have these seeds on me just yet, but I ordered some from My Gardener, and I'm so excited to get these started now in February. Chives are in the allium family as well. They give off the same scent as your onions, which makes them the perfect companion plant for those pest-loving veggies like your brassicas or any others that you would like to keep the pest off of and keep for yourself. Next up are your brassicas. So right here I have pak choy, kale, and collards. But this will also include your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. So I started some brassicas already in January, but I'm going to be starting another round, as I've said in the last video if you watched. I'm starting 2 rounds because brassicas love the cooler season, and it's a bit easier when you're growing them in the cooler season. So my January ones that I started is actually going to be a bit easier. They're going to grow slower, but I won't have to worry about that cabbage moth, versus the ones that I start in February. They are going to be more likely still growing once it starts to warm up outside. The thing with brassicas, they like the cooler season, they like the warm season, but they absolutely do not like when it gets above 80 degrees. They are more likely to bolt unless you have a specific variety that is catered to really high temperatures. But majority of brassicas, they prefer when it is a bit cooler outside, or they will go to flower. So you don't want to miss your window. At the very least, you can start them in March. Next up is your lettuce. So these are leaf lettuce and one little head lettuce right here. So you can start both your leaf and your head lettuce. Your head lettuce is going to do okay in the cooler season, but they really thrive when it starts to warm up outside. So your head lettuces are going to be like your romaine lettuces. Make sure that you do your research and get a good leaf lettuce and a head lettuce and add that to your list. Next up is arugula, and I actually started my arugula back in January, but if you have not started your arugula in January, you still have time. You can start it in February. I don't have the seed pack with me because I actually used all of it. So add arugula to your list. Next up is Swiss chard. So Swiss chard does good all year round if you protect it when it gets below freezing. But February is a really good time to go ahead and start them. You can start them indoors and then move them directly outdoors. You can basically add Swiss chard to your list every single month. At least I do, because they pretty much do good all year round. Next up are your onions. So this is green onion, bunching onion, and this is a bulbing onion. And I actually got this a couple years ago from Amazon as well, and I haven't had any issues out of this. If you missed your window and didn't get a chance to plant them at the end of December or in January, you still have a little bit of time to start your seeds for your bulbing onions in February. But your bunching onions, your green onions that are not bulbing onions, you can add that to your list. That's another one you can add to your list just about every single month, because you can grow these all year round and they're super easy to grow. Next up are your snap peas. Now, I have stressed this so many times. Things like your carrots and snap peas love the cooler weather, and they actually taste a lot better because they convert their starch into sugars to protect them from the frost or freezing temperatures. And that's really good for me and you. So if you want to reap the benefits of those natural defenses, you definitely want to go ahead and start some snap peas once the ground is workable. If you like beets and radish, you can actually add both of these to your list because they don't take long and they do pretty good in the cooler weather as well. You don't start them indoors, you will start those directly outside. Next up is chamomile. So if you did not get a chance to start chamomile indoors, you want to make sure you start them at least 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. If you start them 10 weeks before, that is amazing. Same with your echinacea. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, let me know down in the comments. And same with your lavender. 2 more that I'm going to be adding to this list are peppermint, or any type of mint if you're starting it from seed. And if you didn't know, lemon balm is also in that family, so add that to your list as well. Now these take a little bit, it takes a while to sprout, so you're going to want to make sure that you keep those seeds moist and warm under a heat mat. Be patient because it's going to take a little bit of time to sprout. Things that are in your mint family, you want to make sure that you grow them in a pot by itself. Don't put them in the ground because they are very invasive and they'll take over your entire raised beds. So plant them in a pot by itself, and depending on how large the pot is going to be the size that the mint grows. If you want a lot of mint, put it in a bigger pot. If you want not very much, keep it in a very small pot. Either way, that is going to be up to you. You don't want to put them in your raised bed, in ground, or in anything else that you are growing other plants in, because they will definitely take over. Beets germinate pretty slowly, so just be patient. Your herbs handle the frost pretty well, so there's really no need to cover them unless it gets way below freezing. If you're worried, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and cover them with a blanket or a frost cloth, but herbs do pretty good when it's cooler outside. Another thing, mint takes a bit of time to get established. It grows pretty slowly early on, but once it gets established, it grows really quickly. And last but not least, if you are wanting to add a flower to this list, grow some calendula. So you can start this indoors. Try not to mess with the roots too much, but if you're wanting to have some flowers that are ready to go once it warms up a bit outside, you can definitely add calendula to your list. Well, those are 32 seeds that you could be starting in February. If you did not hear the seeds on the list that you were going to be starting, put it down in the comments, give me some ideas. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you want to be part of an amazing gardening community, head on over to Facebook, type in Prosper and Plant, and I'll see you over there.